Now with our GMA cover story, 2026 marks America's 250th anniversary, and this new year kicked off a year-long celebration of our nation's birthday. And now U.S. Secretary of the Interior Doug Burgum joins us from Palm Beach, Florida. Mr. Secretary, thank you for being with us. Happy New Year to you. We appreciate your time. And last night we appreciated seeing that special projection show on the Washington Monument for America's anniversary. Tell us all about it.
Well, Will, good morning and Happy New Year, America. What a way to kick off our 250th anniversary celebration last night on this epic projection on the Washington Monument. How fitting. We wouldn't have a country without George Washington, his leadership, his courage, long before he became our first president, just to win the revolution. And now with this 555-foot tall monument to him in the center of our capital city, being projected about the history, the beauty, the innovation, and really the future of America in basically what kids would call a sizzle reel about America to kick it off.
Ladies and gentlemen, by way of introduction, this is a film about trickery and fraud, about lies.
Velocity 4,000 feet per second. Downrange 35 miles, 30 miles high. Standing by for the outboard engine.
On, and it looks like you're well on your way now. Are you over on me, Dick?
Mike Collins there.
Roger, 11. Thank you very much. That was one of the greatest shows we've ever seen. We sure appreciate it, over.
Astronauts are really, really good at making pictures in space that look like you've never left the planet. In fact, it's almost hard-pressed to tell whether you're in space or not in this picture. You know, we've got some fancy backdrops, I guess.
Hello, and welcome to Non-Lethal Patriot Gunpowder Missiles Incorporated. I'm Roger Horton, and I'm the boss man who opened this highly flammable and sometimes illegal fireworks distribution center. We're having our blowout sale on July 4th confections. We're your go-to place to explode a plethora of non-lethal Patriot gunpowder missiles in the air in order to commemorate our country's inextricable tie to years of warfare.
This video, obtained by ABC News, appears to show the fury of the Turkish attack on the border town of Tel Aviv.
A border town bombarded by Turkey's military. This video right here appearing to show Turkey's military bombing Kurd civilians in a Syrian border town. The Kurds, who fought alongside the U.S. against ISIS. Now, horrific reports of atrocities committed by Turkish-backed fighters on those very allies.
Tonight, American rock climber Alex Honnold has made history. We've been talking about this behind the scenes because it is incredible. Today, look at this. In Taiwan, the Sacramento native became the first person ever to scale a 101-story skyscraper, get this, without any ropes or any safety net. Unbelievable. His first word reaching the top? Sick. Yeah. Taipei 101 is one of the tallest skyscrapers in the world. By the way, the building is 1,667 feet tall. Honnold is an experienced rock climber. He said he's been wanting to scale a skyscraper for about a decade, and this was such a big deal. Netflix broadcast Honnold's climb live as it happened.
As the year turns 2026, America turns 250. Turn to your left, turn to your right. Embrace this moment. 350 million Americans celebrating 250 years of turning together.
Don't tell me that bombs bursting in air part of the national anthem is just a coincidence, because it's not. I made sure they put that in there when Francis Scott Key wrote the Star-Spangled Flag poem that we all know and love. This way, no matter what wars happen between our war for independence and now, we can always celebrate by buying as many non-lethal Patriot gunpowder missiles as possible. One swig of the old good stuff, and you'll be singing your national anthem loud and proud.
Bowl. Why wouldn't it be with the cereal? I don't know. What else do you use a bowl for? I don't know. Oh, Satan's baby. You ever shot one of these suckers? No. Is it sweet? That's an understatement.
The Russian Satan II missile is a powerful intercontinental ballistic missile, ICBM, capable of carrying up to 15 nuclear warheads. It was developed by the Russian military in the late 2000s and is one of the most advanced ICBMs in the world. With a range of almost 11,000 miles, it can reach any target on Earth from its launch site in Russia. The Satan II has been described as the most lethal weapon ever designed, and it has been estimated that it could cause up to 100 million casualties if used against a large city. This makes it one of the most feared weapons in the world today and an important part of Russia's nuclear arsenal. The Russian Satan II missile is one of the most powerful weapons in the world. It is a nuclear-capable intercontinental ballistic missile with a range of up to 11,000 kilometers and can carry up to 10 warheads.
That doesn't look like a bowl.
Nah, it's way better. There is a reason this warning label says 18 or older. This sucker is filled with 150 grains of black powder, aka gunpowder. Strap 2 of these together and it's bigger than an M80. 5 of them? We've got ourselves a stick of dynamite.
You want to kill that thing with fireworks.
Do you have a better idea?
Yeah, 11.
Against that thing? She's gonna need some backup.
Oh my God.
Hold this.
I, Roger Jefferson Horton, have been well endowed by my Creator with some girthy, inalienable rights. To that end, I declare the freedoms of life, liberty, and the pursuit of sleeping around with my slaves self-evident.
I've come to the conclusion that really it would have been far easier to have had 2 wives. To have covered both sides of the street. And I could have walked down the middle, directing the operation.
Our newly crowned King Charles III, whose lifelong passion for the arts we will be celebrating throughout the show. He himself, of course, is a painter, an artist. The artist formerly known as Prince.
That national anthem we all know and love is a long poem that was written during the War of 1812, which I know July 4th isn't supposed to be all about, but it really was our second fight for independence. So why not set our national anthem to the anachronic tune, a foofy old drinking song written by a foofy old British guy who belonged to a foofy old British singing club in London.
Now our first performer, ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem, performed by the American Idol star, David Archuleta.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the
Barack and I were raised with so many of the same values. Like, you work hard for what you want in life, that your word is your bond, that you do what you say you're going to do.
My parents impressed on me the values that you work hard for what you want in life, that your word is your bond, and you do what you say and keep your promise.
That you treat people with dignity and respect, even if you don't know them and even if you don't agree with them.
That you treat people with respect. They taught and showed me values and morals in their daily life. That is a lesson that I continue to pass along to our son. And we need to pass those lessons on to the many generations to follow.
To rise above, to revel, to remember. We've turned fortitude into freedom, launches into landings.
Horton Enterprises and our subsidiary, Horton America, and their subsidiary, Non-Lethal Patriot Gunpowder Missiles Incorporated, and I want you to have a jubilant and safe holiday. So please be careful when setting off our non-lethal Patriot gunpowder missiles. You could lose a finger, and odds are you just might. I will say this as I also ask you to buy this red, white, and blue ale from Horton's Hops. A few of these and you'll forget that you blew off a few fingers. Come on, you only need 2 fingers to salute the flag, soldier.
To tonight's original now, with in-depth reporting on a topic we've been watching. And tonight it's an unexpected but powerful group which says they're fighting to protect the separation of church and state. The Satanic Temple. We told you about them before on this show. Remember, they're battling a lot of conservative movements by fighting for what they say is their members' religious rights.
You only need 2 fingers to salute the flag, soldier.
One issue we've seen them gain some traction on is abortion. They've sued states over access to it, even launching what they call the first ever religious abortion clinic network. Now, the Satanic Temple's taking on religion in schools, using new laws in several states to try and get Satanist ministers inside classrooms.
Crowds at St. Peter's wait for the Pope's Easter blessing. For at this time of Christian rejoicing, this year marred by the barbarism of war, they turn for leadership to the chief bishop in Christendom.
Flammas eius, Lucifer matutinus inveniat. Ille in quam Lucifer qui nescito casu.
Teamwork into triumph. And now it's our turn to show up for our country, to help write the next great American chapter.
For 3 payments of $69.99, you can get non-lethal Patriot gunpowder missiles in a variety of sizes and colors. Specials on red, white, and blue if you come in and tell us that you think the Founding Fathers were actually totally cool, because that's true. Some of them were so cool they developed a bit of a bad boy reputation.
Together. Happy birthday, America. Here's to the next 250.
Like Benjamin Franklin, who was sort of the Charlie Sheen of the colonial generation. The people who declared independence and wrote the Declaration had to be on one in order to say screw you to the tyrant King George. In a weird way, our proclamation of independence for some, but not all, has sort of usurped the summer. Yeah, we all know Hot Roger Summer is a thing, but do you remember Hot Powdered Wig White Guy Summer?
And Barack and I set out to build lives guided by these values and to pass them on to the next generation, because we want our children and all children in this nation to know that the only limit to the height of your achievements is the reach of your dreams and your willingness to work hard for them.
Because Because we want our children in this nation to know that the only limit to your achievements is the strength of your dreams and your willingness to work for them.
Self-evident, Brother Franklin, all men are created equal.
Indeed, Brother Washington. All Freemasons meet as equals.
Many of you missed your prom, sporting events, and celebration with your friends. But you were quick to find new ways to stay connected and active while remaining focused on finishing your education. You proved to the entire world that you can set your mind to something important, push through and succeed, showing all of us that you, our next generation, already possess the strength and resilience of the American spirit.
And we have an opportunity to create a nation in the very essence of Masonic morality. It would be wonderfully symbolic, don't you think?
You'll be wanting to put the all-seeing eye on our banknotes next.
You think I'm taking it a bit far?
Please don't ask me questions like that, Brother Franklin. You know I cannot tell a lie.
Oh, come on, Brother Washington. Everybody lies occasionally, surely, especially politicians.
Not me. Not even so much as an alternative fact.
We must all be aware of fake news.
Hi, I'm Fox San Antonio's Jessica Headley.
And I'm Ryan Wolf.
Our greatest responsibility is to serve our
Treasure Valley communities,
the El Paso, Las Cruces communities, Eastern Iowa communities,
Mid-Michigan communities.
We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But
we are concerned about the troubling trend of irresponsible, one-sided news stories plaguing our country.
The people must be free to think what they like as well. We can have no thought police in our new society. The foundation stone of our new nation built on all those principles that we hold dear.
The plans for our new capital city already have a very Masonic feel to them, yeah.
Candidate for initiation into the order, I'm giving them a little introduction into some of our mysteries. These two gentlemen are founding an entire nation built on our principles.
We have great promises for our new nation. You know, I wonder if other presidents after me will also be Freemasons.
Many will be. And Freemasonry will become embedded in the American culture. And the eye will appear on the banknotes.
Oh, God.
These principles will be honored with a gift from your French brethren. A gift that will be a welcoming beacon to the poor and oppressed.
This is the statue we are giving you.
It's a bit small, isn't it?
Oh, this is a maquette. The real thing is bigger. Much, much bigger.
Pull him. Full Patronus. Let's cook.
slime wall is pulsing with evil. It would take a tremendous amount of positive energy to crack that shell, and I seriously doubt that there's enough goodwill left in this town to do it. We need something that everyone in this town can get behind. We need a symbol.
Something that appeals to the best in each and every one of us.
Something good. Something decent.
Something pure. Kinda makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Wonder what?
Whether she's naked under that toga. She's French. You know that.
Got it. Ready with the speakers, Ray? Slime blower's ready?
Okay, internal audio set. Internal electric set.
Slime blower, prime and set.
Oh, good slime, good slime. Winston, is our slime in a good mood tonight?
I hope so. She's a lot bigger than a toaster. All yours, Beckman. Let's go.
Thank you. Testing, 1, 2, testing. Hey, how many of you people here tonight are a national monument? Would you raise your hand, please?
Hey.
Oh, hello, miss.
There is a new sculpture in the state capitol rotunda, and it isn't the nativity scene or the menorah. The Satanic Temple Chicago chapter just put up their own display. It depicts a hand holding an apple with a serpent wrapped around the wrist. The plaque below reads, "Knowledge is the greatest gift."
I don't see a problem with it. It seems like it's part of freedom of speech and it doesn't project a bad message.
The Satanic Temple Chicago chapter says their organization aims to encourage kindness and understanding among all people.
I suppose it is their free speech rights to do that, so I can't deny that, but do I agree with it? Absolutely not. You know, I can't disagree with the statement in itself, but when that's coming from a satanic or an occult group, my response would be that everything about Satan is a lie.
Despite the message the Satanic organization is trying to get out to the public, some people aren't buying it.
He is the greatest deceiver, and that's what he's all about.
While some people recognize the freedom of expression, others just don't agree with it.
There is a such thing as freedom of speech, but I think that is a little too far, in my opinion. There are other places that they could put it that's more discreet. I think that's really inappropriate. It's not something that should be displayed for a lot of people to be offended by. I would be offended by that myself.
You know the tale. Now find out the truth.
There is evil in this world. Illuminati. Hatred and revenge.
Running out of time, Ray.
Can't you go any faster? I'm afraid the vibrations will shake her to pieces. You should have patted her feet.
I don't think they make Nikes in her size, Ray.
It's happening. It's really happening.
I love you when you rap out. Drop down. Do it.
The pitcher, steroid Santa Claus, kicks and deals. It's a long fly ball going back. And the ball shatters the sky, bringing the ocean itself down into the stadium. Oh, Simpson just broke this dream's reality wide open.
Oscar, look!
You don't know who that is?
Happy New Year!
He's Vigo! You are like the buzzing of flies to him.
Oh, Johnny, did you back the wrong horse? Will you hose him, please?
Hose him.
One down.
On the ground.
Boy, am I glad to see you.
Oh, ask her. Ask her.
America will produce a great many great Americans from many different walks of life and many different fields, and many will be Masons. Sportsmen. Actors.
Hey Hollywood, it's time to party. Tiana Taylor sharing the moment she found out she was an Oscar nominee for one battle after another. Writing in part, this little Harlem girl had a big dream, and now she's an Academy Award nominee. The 98th Oscar's shaping up to be golden indeed. Yeah! Especially for newly minted nominee EJ, the songwriter and voice behind the K-pop Demon Hunters hit Golden. And Bobby Cannavale posting a screenshot of his FaceTime celebration with Rose Byrne, his wife and recently named Best Actress nominee. Naomi Watts commenting, "Love this so much, are you bringing the bearded dragon?" A reference to Rose's Golden Globes acceptance speech.
I want to thank my husband Bobby Cannavale, who he couldn't be here because we're getting a bearded dragon, and he went to a reptile expo in New Jersey.
As for the rest of the zoo,
Hudson Wild in pursuit of suspect. Back off, rookies!
Zootopia 2 adding an Oscar nod for animated feature to its incredible box office haul. Meanwhile, Elle Fanning celebrated her nomination with her film's director. Her sister Dakota commenting, "I am the proudest sister today and every day." But this year, there's a lot to celebrate across the board.
Across all the categories, you're seeing a really diverse field among actors, then among projects. I think, the Academy for so long has dealt with Oscars so white. I think this year proves that the Academy has done its work and has diversified its membership.
Sinners shattering the record for most nods in a single year, picking up 16 nominations, including Best Picture, Best Director, and Best Actor for Michael B. Jordan.
You boys twins? Nah, we cousins.
Writers. Soldiers. Filmmakers. Businessmen. Inventors. Astronauts.
What on earth is an astronaut?
No, they're not.
I don't follow.
Well, they're not on Earth, they're in space.
When I was talking with the gentleman from Belcom, and we were discussing the lie, everything he was telling me was different from what we were being told was the truth. And at one point I asked him, I said, "Man, you guys, you lied about a lot, didn't you?" And instantly he said, "No, we didn't lie about certain things. We lied about everything. None of it was true." I really don't think people realize how deep the lie goes.
Space, the final frontier.
Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement.
The Vector, NASA's official logo. If you've ever looked at NASA's official logo, both their official insignia and their official seal, you'll see that the most prominent object in the seal is a red swooshing object. They call that the chevron or the vector. If you ask NASA's Public Affairs Office, this symbology is featured so heavily in their insignia and seal, they'll give you what really amounts to the standard facile cover story for the unilluminated. They'll tell you that is a representation of a hypersonic wing design from the 1950s, which was the time the logo was created. Not exactly the case. Someone might want to ask the Russian Federal Space Agency, Roscosmos, that was formed in 1992, why they chose that same logo. And while you're at it, you can go ask the Chinese, who formed their space agency in 1996, why in the world they're using a hypersonic wing design from the 1950s as their official logo. Then you can ask the Japanese, the South Koreans, Taiwanese, Malaysia, Mexico, Iran, all of these countries, even Bulgaria. They all utilize the vector symbology in their space agency logos for their national space agencies. It gets even deeper. You can go look at the individual manned program patches for NASA. The Mercury program, for example, a blatant use of covert symbology. In every logo dealing with the Mercury program, you'll see what looks like a number 7 in their logo. And again, NASA's official story is that they put this number 7 there so that they could pay homage to the original 7 Mercury astronauts. Kind of forgetting the fact that only 6 Mercury astronauts actually flew into space, because number 7 never did. Deke Slayton had a heart problem, so he didn't get to go up. So there were only 6 Mercury astronauts. Yet there's a 7 in every single logo. That's in the official mission or official program insignia for Mercury, as well as the 6 individual mission patches carry this logo. And it carries on to the Space Shuttle program. If you look at the Apollo logo has a big letter A in it. At least that's what they want you to believe, but it's not. Again, that's just a simple way of explaining away the inclusion of this vector symbology in the logo. If you go to the Space Shuttle program, the original Space Shuttle STS program patch is a triangular patch that, again, hides the use of the chevronic vector symbology. And that also goes for many of the STS-specific mission patches. Every single one of the International Space Station expedition patches carry the vector symbology. The Russian Mir space station used the vector symbology. That was their official logo.
In fact, Brother Buzz Aldrin was the second man to walk upon the surface of the moon.
That's the best thing I've heard this evening.
What, that a Mason walked on the moon?
Man on the moon. Amazing. But don't forget the musicians. Do not forget the musicians.
This is Inside the Music. I'm Brian Lawrenson. The Magic Flute is not only an opera that tells the story of love and trials, there's also a deeper meaning. Mozart intended the work to be a dramatic representation of a person's initiation into Freemasonry. And to learn more about it, I went to the Masonic Center in Santa Monica and spoke with former Grand Master of Masons in California, Stephen Doan.
This is known as Mozart's Masonic opera, written in the last year of his life, and he did something that he knew his Masonic brothers would attend, and that non-Masons would come out of curiosity for what the Masons were about. And he thinly disguised a Masonic initiation ceremony in this opera. So as part of the Masonic initiation ceremony at the time, the candidate goes through these 4 elemental tests: earth, water, air, fire, to prove to the brethren that they have the right balance of these 4. And of course, we see these in the second act of the opera. Tamino's going through the initiatic process. And the first 2 are earth and air. And then he does fire and water subsequently.
So this opera is called The Magic Flute. I imagine there's quite a bit to unpack there.
Freemasonry is all about harmony. That's why geometry is the central symbol of Freemasonry, because geometry measures the harmony in the universe. There's a principle in theology, it's called hypostasis. We can never know the divine, we can only see the work of the divine. And because geometry measures the harmony in the universe, geometry therefore becomes the symbol of the creator of that harmony. That's the whole point of Freemasonry. That's really the whole point of this opera. And the magic flute convey this sense of harmony. The flute is magical because the 4 elements are in balance. It's made from wood from the earth. It was made on a rainy night when there was water, and also thunder and lightning, which is fire. But then, most importantly, it takes someone to apply the breath, somebody who has the wisdom to play the music on the flute that will return harmony.
Authoritarian and totalitarian regimes continue to suppress Freemasonry, afraid of its strong heritage of liberty and equality.
It symbolizes the inevitability of your end.
The British Army had travelling lodges that moved with regiments. Freemasons have served their countries and communities with distinction.
Freemasons met across the Union and Confederate divide to celebrate their common rituals.
And today, Freemasonry remains an active part of military life in many countries.
Freemasonry has burned as a blazing fire through the last 3 centuries. The driving force behind the Royal Society was initiated into Freemasonry.
Prince Edward, Duke of Kent, father of Queen Victoria, and Prince Augustus, Duke of Sussex. The 2 princes brought their feuding Grand Lodges together and reconciled to be the United Grand Lodge of England.
Kings George IV, William IV, Edward VII, Edward VIII, and George VI were all Freemasons, as were 18 dukes and princes, including the Duke of Edinburgh.
This year, His Royal Highness Prince Edward, the Duke of Kent, celebrates his 50th year as Grand Master of the United Grand Lodge of England.
His Royal Highness was proposed into Freemasonry by the then Grand Master, the Earl of Scarborough.
He was initiated into Royal Alpha Lodge number 16, an advocate for the craft all over the world, continuing 3 centuries of distinguished royal tradition at the very heart of English Freemasonry.
To order, brethren, to receive the most worshipful, the Grand Master.
As permanent master of these 3 lodges, I now call on my deputy masters.
Most worshipful Grand Master.
Most worshipful Grand Master.
Most worshipful Grand Master.
Most worshipful Grand Master, I humbly ask you to complete the initiation of this worthy candidate for Freemasonry.
Adorn our ceremonies and forever remind us of our incomparable heritage, the birth of organized Freemasonry,
stressing the deep and sincere loyalty and affection felt by the brethren of the United Grand Lodge of England for their Grand Master.
I had the pleasure of meeting 136 Grand Masters visiting from overseas at Freemasons Hall yesterday. Today, though, we are a meeting of more than 4,000 gathered from all around the world, from our own constitution and beyond. When the global Masonic family comes together to celebrate our past and renew our own pride and confidence in and enthusiasm for Freemasonry.
I hereby read the text of a letter sent today to Buckingham Palace. May it please your Majesty, we, the representatives of over 200,000 Freemasons under the United Grand Lodge of England, most respectfully express our continuing loyalty to your Majesty's throne and person in this, the 66th year of your long and distinguished reign, of His Royal Highness the Duke of Kent, as our much-loved and greatly respected Grand Master. We humbly thank God for preserving our order and fervently pray His blessings on your Majesty, so that our loyal devotion to your Majesty may long continue. Given at the Royal Albert Hall this 31st day of October, Anno Domini 2017. Her Majesty has been pleased to reply in the following terms. The Queen has asked me to thank you for your kind letter of loyal greetings on behalf of the representatives of the Freemasons under the United Grand Lodge of England, which are being celebrated on the 31st of October at the Royal Albert Hall. Her Majesty appreciated your thoughtfulness in writing as you did.
We leave the Royal Albert Hall even more proud of our ancient institution.
Worldwide, Freemasonry remains as important and relevant as ever. A global society of perhaps 6 million people.
As the globe embraced Freemasonry, enlightenment came.
I may not agree with what you say, but I shall defend to the death your right to say it.
None is more hopelessly enslaved than those who falsely believe they are free.
coat of arms of Donald Trump. What does it actually represent?
Well, this is rather interesting, actually. This is arcane Scottish heraldic law providing evidence of Donald Trump's deep Anglophilia, I would say, and also touches upon the royal prerogative. There we have the double-headed eagle representing his Scottish Germanic heritage.
The Masonic Chip program uses modern police-approved techniques to create a child identification kit.
And we take fingerprints. We also provide them with a swab for getting a DNA swab. And we also provide them with imprint where they can get an imprint of the child's teeth. So not only does it provide DNA as well as a swab, but it is also a source if you were using tracking dogs to provide a scent for the child.
You may be surprised to see who we found using tricks to cover up their license plates.
Apparently, they're law enforcement.
You know, in Hollywood and in the industry and the stuff we do, there's a lot of like insider secrets to keeping your career going, and a lot of insider secrets to making things tick.
Some of the media outlets that they deal with the fake news. Fake news.
30 years ago, the Omnicam Corporation created the ultimate reality-based television experience, The Truman Show. Beginning with a child's birth, they set out to document an entire human life, every single moment, broadcast live to the world. They created his hometown of Sea Haven, all of it completely enclosed within the dome of the Truman stage.
Force field. It's a dome. We're at the edge of the arena.
Cue the sun.
And even though The Truman Show has become an international phenomenon, Truman himself has never learned the true nature of the world around him.
It's television! Yes!
Despite some close calls. Every aspect of his life has been carefully scripted and meticulously crafted. But the one thing no one could predict was who Truman Burbank would grow up to be.
Good morning!
Morning!
Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
I hereby proclaim this planet Trumania of the Burbank Galaxy. Trumania, Trumania, I love and honor you.
Pope Francis is calling fake news a grave sin. Speaking to Catholic media over the weekend, the Holy Father criticized journalists who sensationalize the news and bring up old scandals. He called their actions a, quote, grave sin that hurts the heart of the journalist and hurts others. The Pope went on to say that journalists perform a fundamental mission that must be based on accuracy.
Welcome back to Vatican City. As you can see, we're standing in front of the Paul VI Hall.
It was dedicated by Paul VI in 1971, and it was then named the Aula Nervi, named for, of course, the architect-designer. After the Pope died, the hall was given his name. It seats about 7,500 people, but they can expand that to 9,000 or 10,000 people. And it's generally used for weekly general audiences when the weather isn't clement and people cannot go outside in St. Peter's Square. There are also many offices and a smaller auditorium in the hall, which are used for the Synod of Bishops and other gatherings. The most amazing part of the whole hall, once you go into the part where the audience is held, is a 20-meter wide bronze sculpture of the resurrection of the risen Christ. Can't help but capture your attention.
Pope Francis had a spinning ball put on his finger. Here it is. This during a performance by a Cuban circus troupe.
Flammas eius, Lucifer matutinus inveniat. Ille inquam Lucifer qui nescito casum.
At the Vatican.
How cool!
What a show.
I mean, is he not the coolest pope ever?
Some will say that. And,
yeah.
And what a real treat that must have been for the performers.
Completely. Look how fun that looks.
Absolutely.
All the bright colors and everything, so cool.
Check it. Hawaii. All right, that's good. It's hard to trace, I guess.
As the saying goes, the proof is in the pudding, or in this case, the paperwork. The US president has released a long-form version of his birth certificate, proving again that he was born in Hawaii and is a US citizen. Barack Obama says the country has more important things to worry about, but try as he might, the speculation just won't go away. Washington correspondent Craig McMurtry reports.
Here's the president. The US president chided the networks for breaking into regular programs to cover this, of all issues.
I can't get the networks to break in on all kinds of other discussions.
But with rumors about whether he was actually born in America refusing to go away, the White House finally dispatched a lawyer to Hawaii to get a copy of Barack Obama's full birth certificate, posting it online.
Wait, you changed your name to McLovin? McLovin? What kind of a stupid name is that, Fogel? What, are you trying to be an Irish R&B singer?
The character of Donald Trump is entertaining and that he says things that people want to hear. And I know his very name is powerful. Just listen to this one supporter explain what it means to her.
I was a little girl.
Right.
Yeah. I didn't even know what Trump Towers were, but I knew that he was a wealthy, successful man.
Somehow, like there was even as a very young kid, the word Trump sort of meant rich to you.
It meant success.
She's not even wrong. Trump does sound rich. It's almost onomatopoeic. Trump. It's the sound produced when a mouthy servant is slapped across the face with a wad of $1,000 bills. Trump. It's the sound of a cork popping on a couple's champagne anniversary. The date's renovations in the wine cellar were finally completed. The very name Trump is the cornerstone of his brand. If only there were a way to uncouple that magical word from the man he really is. Well, guess what? There is. Because it turns out the name Trump was not always his family's name. One biographer found that a prescient ancestor had changed it from, and this is true, Drumpf. Yes, King Drumpf. And Drumpf is much less magical. It's the sound produced when a morbidly obese pigeon flies into the window of a foreclosed Old Navy. Drumpf. It's the sound of a bottle of store-brand root beer falling off the shelf in a gas station mini-mart. And it may seem weird to bring up his ancestral name, but to quote Donald Trump, he should be proud of his heritage. Because Trump is much more reflective of who he actually is. So if you are thinking of voting for Donald Trump, the charismatic guy promising to make America great again, stop and take a moment to imagine how you would feel if you just met a guy named Donald Drumpf. A litigious serial liar with a string of broken business ventures and the support of a former Klan leader who he can't decide whether or not to condemn. Would you think he would make a good president, or is the spell now somewhat broken? And that is why tonight I'm asking America to make Donald Trump again. Hashtag make Donald Trump again. We've actually filed paperwork to trademark the name Trump. And incidentally, when we own it, I will have the best word. And if you go to donaldjtrumpf.com, which we own, you can download a Drumpfinator Chrome extension, which will replace the word Trump with Drumpf wherever it appears in your browser. And you can also buy these Make Donald Drumpf Again hats, which we are selling at cost, meaning we've chosen not to make a profit, a fact which will probably irritate Mr. Drumpf more than anything else I've said tonight. And if you're thinking, well, that's all great, but I wish there was a new campaign anthem for Donald Trump, well, here it is now. Here it is right now. Because listen, we cannot keep getting blinded by the magic of his name. We need to see him through fresh eyes. So please, don't think of him as Donald Trump. Think of him as something else.
A shorter version, the legal standard, had previously failed to silence conspiracy theorists.
We do not have time for this kind of silliness.
Reality TV star, property tycoon and Republican presidential tease, Donald Trump, had been most responsible for fanning the controversy. Far from being embarrassed, he took credit.
Today I'm very proud of myself because I've accomplished something that nobody else has been able to accomplish.
Trump's relentless pursuit of the birther issue worried some senior Republicans. It also earned him a backhander from the president.
We're not going to be able to solve our problems if we get distracted by sideshows and carnival barkers.
You, Mr. Hinky, stand here accused of using the dark magic known as analytics. This here knucklehead has blasphemed against the ways of the old school.
This heretic would have me rest my players. I say, run them all.
I mean, this notion that losing leads to winning. I mean, come on.
This guy used his sorcery to force me to make bad trade and give him all my draft picks.
Well, I don't know about that, Ron.
These analytics fools would have you believe the Earth is round. Do you see a curve anywhere? I mean, I'm just asking questions.
And now, with the hot hand, Sir Evan Turner is going to light Iggy on fire from a mid-range distance. Commence the long two.
Not clutch.
You know, the guillotine's probably more efficient.
Man, shut up, witch. All right, let's try again to light the heretic on fire.
Not today, Luddite.
It's Barack Obama.
A tan horse, really?
That's right. It is I, Barack Obama, 44th President of the realm, defender of rational thought and the use of data to make informed...
Show us your birth certificate!
I'll be taking the numbers man with me.
Thanks, Obama. But where will we go?
To a place far away, where innovation and new ideas are welcome. The MIT Sloan Sports Analytics Conference.
Barack Obama didn't take questions. White House leaks that veteran Defence Secretary Robert Gates will soon be replaced by CIA Director Leon Panetta, with Afghanistan Commander General David Petraeus returning to take over the Central Intelligence Agency, went unanswered.
I had some family that did stuff for the CIA, because my dad, he was someone who would do medical procedures on high-level CIA people.
Whenever I go to a family reunion, half the people in the room are former retired CIA. I've had family that got like 7 Silver Stars and stuff like that, but it's all classified.
I'll tell the government right now, tell you right now if you're listening, NSA, CIA, I'm available, okay? If you show me all the real wreckage, I swear to God, I will make fun of that crap to the end of time. I'll make up stories. I'll lie to my mother. I don't care. You show me a UFO, I'll lie to my mother.
I think it's a disgrace, an absolute disgrace, but I don't think they care.
Charles Jaco, CNN, reporting live from Saudi Arabia. Oh, I love this country so much.
You guys just don't have a clue.
Now, when you detect this, you can tell it's been launched. Thank you. Boy, did I almost look stupid.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Welcome to the Donald Trump Museum, dedicated to America's #1 citizen and America's greatest living folk hero, the one and only Donald Trump. Learn the amazing history of the Trump family.
Somebody criticized me the other day because they asked me what I do, and I said, I'm going to bomb the shit out of them. It's true.
If you are able to take a question, did you think that the possible threat would be over because it is now morning there? It's what, just after 6 o'clock in the morning?
The whole thing is everyone assumed that the threat would be over because it was early morning, but the thing about Saddam Hussein is that he has never done the expected, and right now we have... All right, we are now led to understand that there are also firings in another city in Saudi Arabia. CNN's Carl Rochelle is here with me, just came up.
I guess I have some very good enemies, and I like it that way somehow, and I really believe in trashing your enemies.
Inside, you will learn how Donald Trump's father left him a large inheritance.
Nobody's going to do more women than Donald Trump. That I can tell you. That I can tell you. And I think they know it.
Discover how in 2016 Donald Trump successfully lobbied to legalize gambling.
Part of the beauty of me is that I'm very rich.
He wants to run for president and move on into the White House. Why not?
Share in the stupidity of the average American as they made him the 45th president of the United States.
That will easily go down as the greatest president in the history of the United States. Me, Donald John Trump.
No! Hey, no! Hey, wait, you come with us upstairs?
There you go, Sonny. We can do this the easy way or the hard way. The easy way.
The sharing of biased and
false news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish things simply aren't true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think, and this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
I'm the hand of Mona Lisa's skirt. I'm a surprise, Kevin. They don't see me coming. That's what you're missing.
I'm built from pieces you can understand. I'm custom made to reach your expectations. Was created to protect you. Was updated to detect you. I was made to love you, made to love, made to love, made to love, made to love you, made to love, made to love. I'm created from the plans that you designed. A perfect blueprint of all that you require. Been invented to accommodate you. I've been programmed to upgrade you. I was made to love, made to love you, made to love, made to love, made to love, made to love you, made to love, made to love. And I'm perfectly in sync with you. And I know that you can feel it too. Feel it too. Feel it too. I was made to love, made to love you, made to love, made to love, made to love, made to love you, made to love, made to love, made to love, made to love you, made to love, made to love, made to love, made to love you, made to love, made to love.
But it was with the confidence of my fellow citizens that I took an oath. 35 simple words that have been repeated by every American president throughout history.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by so you know the thing. And by the way, I sit on the stand and it get hot. I got hairy legs that turn blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again. They look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap. And I've loved kids jumping on my lap.
Joe has almost disappeared from view. The only way he could be seen less is if he had a show on CNN. They had nothing. They've got nothing. Fake news, right? Fake. That term wasn't good. They say that term is no longer in vogue because it's much worse than fake. I don't want to tell you what the real name is. I won't do it because all those cameras would shut off immediately. They don't like that. But apparently Joe didn't think it was fair for me to have the podium to myself with Kamala skipping the event. So he called, looked at me, and said, "Don't." Does anybody understand that? Yes. I thought it was actually very good until just now. It was announced this morning that at a funeral yesterday, in a rare moment of clarity, Joe told Barack Hussein Obama that, quote, only a few people got that. Or as Rush Limbaugh used to say, Barack Hussein Obama. Remember, bro? He was a piece of work. We miss him. But as he told Barack Hussein Obama, quote, "She's not as strong as me. She's not as strong. Do you understand that?" And Obama agreed, saying, "That's true. Other than that, I think the Democrats are getting along quite well." Right? Again, nobody got that one. The fact is, we need new leadership in this country. Right now, we have someone in the White House who can barely talk, barely put together two coherent sentences, who seems to have mental faculties of a child, it's said. There's a person that has nothing going, no intelligence whatsoever, but enough about Kamala Harris.
In the 1980s and early 90s, he was one of the most colorful characters in wrestling.
I was always aggressive, and because I wanted to make the fans believe that I was from Africa.
To some, he was the Ugandan giant, but for most, he was Kamala.
To myself, I was an entertainer. But now to the fans, I was a wrestler.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's not just another pretty face, this guy.
He was a wrestler known for his bouts at the Mid-South Coliseum to Wembley Stadium in London, facing off against Hulk Hogan, Jake Roberts the Undertaker, and he even body slammed Andre the Giant.
After I body slammed him, I was so surprised of the spot. I was standing back, I didn't know what else to do. I was just there. I didn't know nothing else to do.
And the fans went crazy.
Yeah, they did.
Some fans loved his persona of wearing African makeup and a loincloth, but he admits others didn't.
It might have been a little bit of a disgrace to the blacks, but I was just concerned about making a few dollars, but I didn't want to hurt No nationality.
But today, the real man without the makeup is James Harris of Senatobia, Mississippi. He walked out of the ring in 1993 to become a truck driver because he said his then WWF opponents like The Undertaker were making a fortune, and he wasn't.
The Undertaker, he didn't tell me this himself, but he made $500,000. I made $13,000. I made $13,000. So I don't think that was fair.
But his biggest battle in life was yet to come.
Back in October, I went in the hospital and I had to go on dialysis.
His opponent wasn't a wrestler, it was complications from high blood pressure and diabetes. To make matters worse, the once fearless Kamala would eventually have to have his leg amputated.
I had a few times that I shed a few tears, about it, but I never questioned God.
His faith never wavered because of his support he received from his wife, Jean.
I don't ever want him to give up on himself because I would never give up on him. So we just got to fight together because God is going to always be with us.
These days, he still hears from his wrestling fans via email, and many have learned he has another talent outside the ring. They're going online to buy the music he records in his home.
Can't live like that.
So we got another career here, don't we?
I'm a little too old for another career.
No. And even though James Harris now uses a wheelchair and he's learning to use a prosthetic leg, he says he's got a message for his fans.
Don't think of me as, oh, please, help me. I don't want them to think of me that way. I want them to think of me as uplifting.
He says he's comfortable with his new life as a husband, father, and grandfather, but he says deep down inside, he is still the Ugandan giant.
Kamala is alive and well.
Alex Coleman, WREG-TV News Channel 3.
Former WWE wrestler and Mississippi native Kamala has died after a brief battle with COVID-19. The wrestler was born as James Harris and also known as the Ugandan Giant. Harris was born in Senatobia and spent time in Coldwater, launching his career in the 1970s, going through the South before becoming a WWE and WCW superstar.
The only way to really cure that what's on the inside is understanding that Jesus Christ died for our sins. And so to me, on a micro level, it's understanding.
Oh, and just like that, we lost him. I heard you guys rapping me.
I know Kamala's word because she spends a lot of time complaining. I won't agree to another debate. But the truth is I've debated twice this year, once against Joe Biden and once against David Muir of ABC.
If we turn against each other based on divisions of race or religion,
Come on, try getting it out.
Ding, 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 bong. That's all, folks.
Checkmate.
Oh! Again?
Obviously, you're not well suited for three-dimensional chess. Perhaps three-dimensional Candyland would be more your speed.
Just reset the board.
It must be humbling to suck on so many different levels.
Hey guys.
Hey.
Did you get my mail?
Yeah, right here. How was Nebraska?
Oh, better than North Dakota. I guess that joke's only funny in Nebraska.
From the data at hand, you really can't draw that conclusion. All you can say with absolute certainty is that that joke is not funny here.
Boy, it's good to be back.
How's your family?
Oh, it was the worst trip. Everyone got sick over the weekend.
Sick? Here we go.
What kind of sick?
The flu, I guess.
But I don't need you to guess. I need you to know. Now, when did the symptoms first appear?
Maybe Friday?
Friday. Was that morning or afternoon?
I
I don't...
Think woman who blew their nose and when.
Sheldon, relax. She doesn't have any symptoms. I'm sure she's not contagious.
Oh, please. If influenza was only contagious after symptoms appear, it would have died out thousands of years ago. Somewhere between tool using and cave painting, Homo habilis would have figured out to kill the guy with the runny nose.
Penny, you'll have to excuse Sheldon. He's a bit of a germaphobe.
Oh, it's okay. I understand.
Thanks for your consideration. Now please leave.
You'd better go before he starts spraying you with Lysol.
Okay, well, thank you for getting my mail.
No problem. Welcome home.
What? Guard the Uncle Carl factor. At best, I have 60 years left.
How long, huh?
60 only takes me to here. I need to get to here.
What's there?
The earliest estimate of the singularity, when man will be able to transfer his consciousness into machines and achieve immortality.
So you're upset about missing out on becoming some sort of freakish, self-aware robot?
By this much.
Good evening.
I assume my time is as good as anyone's.
Indeed it is. However, there is a voluntary donation for non-members. Most give a year. What's your game?
Poker.
Right this way.
What's the limit?
Well, there is none.
I don't believe we've had the pleasure of your company before, Mr. Salas. Will Salas. Philippe Weiss. You must come from time. You could say I'm gambling my inheritance. You don't have a garden, Mr. Salas? I assumed I was amongst friends. I bet you 50 years. You must be young. When you've been 25 for 85 years like I have, and knowing only a random act of violence can take your life, you learn to appreciate what you have. And you seem to have a lot to appreciate. I call. Of course, some think what we have is unfair. The time difference between zones. I've heard that. But isn't this just the next logical step in our evolution? And hasn't evolution always been unfair? It's always been survival of the fittest. Raise you another 2 centuries. This is merely Darwinian capitalism. Natural selection. Absolutely. The strong survive. And I think your hand is weak. I call. It appears you're all in, Mr. Salas. Figures. Well played. That was some risk.
gathering together because there's more power. You know, this has been almost like programming that's been put into humanity's mind for a long time. Now it's more of a manifestation of this. This is just so far off the scale where this world is heading. The amount of time, effort, money that is being expended by Satan and his minions to implement his agenda.
Future that Ernest Cline, the writer of the book, envisioned. I was very careful with Ernie collaborating with me every step of the way to be able to find the movie narrative inside this dense forest of Ernie's profound imagination.
The Oasis being the ultimate toy box with all the toys in the world, and then playing that with one of the greatest filmmakers of all time. It results in just amazing action and such a fun adventure.
Ernest Cline is such a visionary, and I think has seen the future before any of us possibly could even imagine it.